Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. We'll go through some of the main newspapers around the country, check out what is happening in the press today in Spain. We'll have a look at El Mundo, El País, El Confidencial, the state broadcaster RTVE, and then at the end of the video we'll go into the comment section and check out what is happening there. And there were quite a few comments on yesterday's video, so we'll check out some of those as well if we have time. Now, as we know, yesterday was a huge day for the AstraZeneca vaccine here in Spain, so I'm sure there's going to be lots of stories related to that. The government first said that they were only going to give the AstraZeneca vaccine to people over the age of 60, between 60 and 65, and now I think they have changed that, and now people between the ages of 60 and 69 are going to be the only group here in Spain that have access to AstraZeneca. Now let's get straight into the news, and we'll start off with El Mundo. And as we can see here, the main story on the left about the AstraZeneca vaccine, so we'll click on that one. And the headline reads, "Vaccination plummets in Madrid for fear of AstraZeneca. Only 10,800 people of the 29,000 that were called up attended their appointment." The Deputy Minister of Public Health in Madrid attributes it to the procession of confusion generated by the central government and asks that someone take command. So there we go. That basically sums up how people feel about AstraZeneca in Spain at the moment. People not attending their appointments to get vaccinated yesterday. 29,000 people called up, but only 10,800 people attended. And yesterday here in Madrid, the weather was good, so bad weather can't be used as an excuse. So a lot of people over the age of 60 deciding that perhaps it's better not to get vaccinated with AstraZeneca, and they're most likely going to wait for some other type of vaccine. Now we'll go back into the news, and there's an article about the autonomous communities and the Sputnik vaccine, so we'll click on that one. And the headline reads that the autonomous communities are putting pressure on the Prime Minister Sanchez to be able to vaccinate people with Sputnik as soon as possible. So again, the Sputnik vaccine hitting the headlines here in Spain. We've seen in recent times how some autonomous communities here in Spain, Madrid for example, have been dealing with representatives of the Russian government to negotiate a Sputnik deal. And yesterday, Germany announced that they were going to deal directly with Russia and also try to get their hands on the Sputnik vaccine. So is the Russian vaccine the answer to Europe's woes? I don't know. Time will tell. Now we'll go back into the news and click on this article about the recently rescued airline Plus Ultra, and we can see the headline, "Los dueños de Plus Ultra." The owners of Plus Ultra failed to sell the airline in 2016 for 21 times less than what they received in the bailout. They put it up for sale for 2.5 million euros, but there was no agreement. So another story surfacing about the airline Plus Ultra that, as we know, is considered strategic by the Spanish government. For what reason? I don't know. Nobody apparently knows why it is considered to be important. And as we just saw there, when it was up for sale in 2016, nobody was interested in that airline. And there was another story about Plus Ultra in the press yesterday, because apparently a couple of years ago, the airline was under investigation by Spanish intelligence services because of possible money laundering by the owners. Now we'll leave El Mundo there and have a look at El País, check out what is happening in that newspaper today. And as we can see, more headlines about AstraZeneca. This one here, a quote from a European politician who has said that we will be able to vaccinate 70% of the population this summer even without the AstraZeneca doses. The politician at the head of the division that oversees European production of vials believes that the Russian Sputnik vaccine will not be needed in the EU. And there's a headline just below that that reads that immunization with Sputnik V has not taken off in Russia while it's being promoted abroad. So again, it's starting to get really confusing again here in the European Union. Are we going to use Sputnik? Are we not going to use Sputnik? What's happening with AstraZeneca? Nobody seems to know. Spain's autonomous communities, as we saw, want to get their hands on the Russian vaccine as soon as possible, and the European Union today saying that they don't think that it will be necessary and that they'll have 70% of the population vaccinated this summer even without AstraZeneca. So again, confusion reigns supreme in the European Union. Now we'll leave El País and go to El Confidencial, see what's happening there. And we'll have a look at some vaccination campaign data here in Spain and see if there has been any progression since we last looked at this graph. We can see down the bottom that complete vaccination has been achieved on 6.37% of the population, what they call here in Spanish pauta completa. And if we have a look at some of the autonomous communities, we'll start off with Andalusia. They have managed to get 6.28% of the population completely vaccinated. In Valencia, it's 5.49%, Madrid 6.18%, and Murcia 6.25%. And as we can see there on the graph, the speed of vaccination vaccination has really slowed down since all of the problems with AstraZeneca. Now, there's an article here about the Spanish economy, and apparently the government has had to cut its forecast for 2021. So we'll click on that one, and we can see the headline: El gobierno recorte en 3,3 puntos la previsión de crecimiento de 2021 hasta el 6,5%. So the government has cut the growth forecast for 2021 by 3.3 points to 6.5%. The impact of virus outbreaks will delay recovery until the second half of the year, and the government passes a good part of the recovery expected for this year to 2022. So some more bad news for the economy here in Spain. The government was expecting around 9.8% growth this year, and as we just saw, that being cut now to 6.5%, and they're optimistic that 2022 is going to be a better year. But as we just saw there, the reason for that forecast change, the outbreaks that we have experienced around the country, and that open up the economy, shut down the economy strategy that various autonomous communities have been implementing so far this year. Now we'll leave El Confidencial, go to the state broadcaster, see what's happening there. And the main story the state broadcaster is going with: Madrid, Extremadura and the Canary Islands, the only territories open in Spain as of this weekend. So that's some good news for people living here in the Madrid community. We can now travel to Extremadura or the Canary Islands. We can't go to Castilla-La Mancha, we can't go to Castilla y León, we can't go to any other part of Spain, but we can go to those two autonomous communities. So I'll start packing the car. Now we'll go back into the news, and there's an article here about the Prime Minister Sanchez and the Madrid Premier Ms. Ayuso and the tensions between them. So we'll click on that one, and the headline reads: Sanchez questions the health data in Madrid, and Ayuso replies, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So Prime Minister Sanchez again on the campaign trail here in Madrid, questioning the health data that's coming out of the Madrid community, and Ms. Ayuso as usual with a quick reply. Now let's leave the news there and go into the comment section, check out what is happening there. We'll have a look at this one here from Alison. Thanks, Stuart. I look forward to listening to you every day, especially with your cheerful Australian accent. I've been waiting for over a year to find out when I can get over to Spain from Scotland, as I have a few holiday houses I have my eye on. It's been so frustrating and we are still no further ahead. I thought that vaccines were supposed to give us more freedom, but alas, it doesn't look like it's going to make much difference. Take care, Alison. Yeah, Alison, thanks for the comment, and you're right, it is very, very frustrating, everything that is going on at the moment, especially when it comes to vaccines. That is what is occupying all of the news at the moment. The AstraZeneca vaccine, can we use it, can't we use it? The other vaccines, where are they? Are they going to come here? Are we going to be able to have other vaccines soon? Nobody really knows. We hear a lot of talk about possible vaccines that are going to arrive this month. So lots of contradicting information, and it all leads to more frustration. I imagine that there are a lot of people out there in a similar situation to yourself that have had to put their plans on hold when it comes to buying property here in Spain. So let's hope that in a few months' time you're able to come down to Spain, check out a few properties and spend a bit of time in the sun. We'll have a look at this one here from June. Hi Stuart, just to let you know that Jet2 have cancelled all their flights until the 23rd of June. Yeah, June, thanks for the comment and thanks for letting us know. Another setback there for the Spanish tourism industry if flights from that company are suspended until the 23rd. I think I read in the paper that it's due to the uncertainty that the UK government is creating when it comes to travel. People not really sure when Boris Johnson and company are going to allow people to travel freely to holiday destinations. And as I said, it's going to be a huge blow to some of the more popular tourist destinations for the British here in Spain. For example, Benidorm, Costa del Sol, Mallorca, and other similar destinations, not only here in Spain, but I imagine around Europe as well. On that note, I'll start to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.